You're up.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Russ Lewis here in the KHOU newsroom with an update here on our breaking news we've been following since early this morning. This just came over from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice regarding the manhunt for Pavel Vito, 65 years old, wanted for shooting a deputy and 3 other people. He has shot himself as searchers closed in here just a little while ago. I'm going to read you what the Department of Criminal Justice sent us. They, of course, provided some scent dogs out there in that area of Liberty County where he was believed to have been, where they found his vehicle, Vito's vehicle. So apparently, as they say here, the scent dogs got a hit on the man wanted in connection with the shooting of multiple people, including a Liberty County Sheriff's deputy. 10 minutes later, the suspect, 65-year-old Pavel Vito, was located hiding under a boat. When confronted by officers, the suspect shot himself. More information to come. We don't know if the suspect is dead. That was not part of this press release. We do know he shot himself as the searchers closed in. If you're just joining us on this story, it started just after 7 o'clock this morning up in Liberty County. Witnesses say that this 65-year-old man walked into a plumbing store and shot the woman there, an employee inside. 2 men came in, also employees, shot both of them. The woman died. We don't know yet about the 2 men. We know they went to the hospital injured. The suspect then leaves the business, and a short time later, a deputy responding to that shooting call confronts him outside of a veterinary clinic just down the road, just down Highway 321 from where the shooting took place at the plumbing store. A gunfight ensues, both people shooting at each other. The deputy was hit in the neck. He is Deputy Richard Witten. He was taken to Memorial Hermann Medical Center. He survived. We're told by DPS he's going to be okay. He's going to make it. He is there getting treatment, surrounded by his family. The suspect then got away. Again, this is just approximately 7:30, 7:40 this morning. He has been on the run ever since. He was driving a 2004 white Grand Marquis, a Mercury. That car was located not too long ago, late this morning in Liberty County, not far from where the shooting took place. And that's where authorities focused their attention today with helicopters, with search dogs, and a lot of officers out there searching a rural wooded area with some homes and some mobile homes, trailers, and a lot of trees and a lot of places to hide. So they were searching out there and have been for the last several hours. We are looking here at, are these live pictures?
No.
This is video from earlier. Okay. You see an ambulance there. You see Life Flight. Life Flight did take that deputy to Memorial Hermann. That's how he arrived quickly. They were able to get him out of there and get him some treatment quickly. Thank goodness. He will survive this. And again, the search has been going on now for the last several hours for this man, and apparently he has shot himself. We don't know his condition, but that's all we have at this point. So why did this happen? That we don't know at this point. We do know that the gunman, suspected gunman, owned property behind the plumbing store, sold it to the owners of the plumbing store about 10 years ago. We're also told that he lived on that property behind the store. We don't know if he was allowed to live there or not, but we do know that the owners of the plumbing store were in the process of trying to evict him, to get him out of there. He lived in some sort of structure, a shed, a shack of some kind on the property. They were trying to get rid of him, and that may be what triggered this whole confrontation and made him angry enough to walk into that plumbing store this morning with a gun. Again, he shot and killed the woman employee and injured 2 men who also work there, and then shot the deputy in the neck.
This is the hospital.
Okay.
Footage of the hospital.
Okay, well, you're looking now at footage of Memorial Hermann in the Med Center, where from earlier, where the deputy was taken. Again, he's going to make it. That's the good news. Again, we don't know about Pavel Vito, the 65-year-old suspect. We don't know what his situation is. We do know he shot himself. We don't know if he's alive or not, but we know there's still a lot of officers there on the scene. As we wait for Air 11 to get there overhead, we're looking for some live shots from them sometime soon. We want to get on our digital platforms, though, for you this afternoon, just to give you the very latest. We just received, again, if you're just tuning in a few minutes ago, from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. They sent out some scent dogs to help in this search today. They got a hit on a man wanted for the shooting, and when the officers approached, he was hiding under a boat. The suspect shot himself. Okay, this coming now from Texas DPS. The suspect is deceased due to a self-inflicted gunshot wound. DPS will be holding a press briefing in 10 minutes at the Bethel Baptist Church on Highway 321 in Cleveland. So Brett Buffington handed me that tweet right now from Texas DPS. Thank you, Brett. So confirming now the 65-year-old Pavel Vito is dead. He shot himself as officers closed in just a little while ago. He was hiding under a boat in a rural area off of County Road 2247, we believe, not far from the shooting scenes on Highway 321 in the Cleveland, Tarkington area. Now, for the kids in school today, because Cleveland and Tarkington both still in class for the school year, this is the last week, and they had a shelter in place, a lock-in for all buildings on all campuses in those two ISDs. That started early this morning. DPS and others were asking the school districts for the kids' safety and staff safety to keep those people in place until this man was apprehended. It is about time for school to get out here. I can assume now that he's been confirmed dead that they will release those kids as they normally would. But again, all those kids and staff have been kept in place wherever they were at the time of that lock-in. They've been kept in those buildings for their own safety until we assume about now. So we'll wait for confirmation on that, but with the suspect now confirmed dead, we think those kids will be released as they normally do at the end of the school day. I know in Cleveland this is the next to last day of the school year. I don't know about Tarkington, but they were ready to start their summer vacation tomorrow. And little unwanted excitement there on campus for those kids today, but everything is okay. No kids or staff were involved in this at all. It sounds like this guy never got close to any schools. He was not far from the shooting scenes, did not get very far after he shot that deputy and took off in his vehicle. Anything else that we need to? Okay, we're waiting on that press conference here in a few minutes. We'll take a break. We'll break back in here as soon as that press conference starts. It's starting right now? Okay, let's get that up if we can. Where is it? TVU 5?
Yeah, the problem is we don't know if we should show what's there because he may be there, the body may be.
Well, we're having this is a press conference.
Oh,
There's a press conference, yes.
I'd like to say it's
Let's go to that
a
right
very
now.
sad day.
If we can.
My hearts go out to the family of the deceased and the people that were injured during this senseless. Doesn't make any sense for this kind of crime. But we did capture the suspect just a little bit before 2:30 p.m. today at 384 County Road 2247. The suspect was found hiding up under a boat. Our SRT members tried to communicate with him to get him to come out. And then sometime in between that, there was one gunshot heard. The suspect is deceased from one gunshot wound. I want to thank the Liberty County Sheriff's Department. I want to thank all the law enforcement, Harris County Sheriff's Department, all the local law enforcement agencies, the community for coming out and helping us take care of the situation. Can't say anymore. Great job, DPS, the analysts, the rangers, everyone here that was involved. We weren't going to quit. We weren't going to just go away. We were going to find him and bring him to justice.
And Sergeant Forrest, we're live on Channel 2 now. Can you tell our viewers what happened, how this was concluded today?
Yes. Again, he was hiding up under a boat and he shot himself. But earlier today, Liberty County Sheriff's Office received a shooting call at approximately 7:29 this morning. While en route to the scene, Deputy Witten located a suspect vehicle, which was a 2004 Mercury Marquise, traveling southbound on 321. He made contact with that car just right over here at the Big Thicket Veterinarian. When he exited his car, the suspect fired shots, the deputy returned shots, and the deputy unfortunately was struck in the neck area. He is in stable condition and he is doing well and expected to recover.
Sergeant, were those dogs from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice instrumental in finding him under the boat?
The dogs, I don't know if it was the Texas Department of Criminal Institutional Division dogs, but whoever the dogs were, great job. Great job.
What's your understanding of how long he was under the boat and what happened after the shooting happened?
Well, that's a good question because our SRT teams and the FBI's SRT teams actually cleared that area earlier, and there were no signs of the suspect. Then when they ran the dogs through there again, the dogs led them to the boat. So what that tells us is we were pushing him while we were doing the search, we were doing our grid. And that's what we do, you know, and unfortunately,
So he didn't get far.
he didn't get far. He didn't get far at all.
Can you release the names and conditions of the other people shot today?
We're not going to release the names at this time. We will release them later. We will have a press release at the beginning.
Do you have any details on a motive?
Do not have details on a motive yet. I mean, this is still a fluid investigation. Understand it happened at 7 o'clock this morning, and it's just now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we don't want to speculate. We want to make sure that we get everything correct. We want to make sure that we get everything right so we can get that information out to you. I also want to thank all the media for getting the information out that we needed as far as pictures and warning the community. Great job. We always really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for that.
And Sergeant, just to clarify and confirm, he shot himself and he is now deceased, is that correct?
Correct. He shot himself and he is now deceased.
We saw 2 ambulances leaving. Priority, is that precautionary or
Other calls.
other call?
Right, because you can't tie up everything. So we've been out here for a while. So they're going to start responding to some other calls.
How does the investigation go from here?
The investigation is at its earliest right now. We're still processing the scene at the original crime scene, and then we'll process the scene back here. So it's going to take a while. It's not something that we're just going to get and be done with in a day.
Sergeant,
Yes.
I know we talk about how important it is, the sense of urgency when something like this happens to find the person responsible. This is the best case scenario, right? Just a few hours, you're able to get this, to find him, right?
Right, we were able to find him. My heart goes out to his family as well. I mean, I don't want him to kill himself, but I'm glad we were able to find him. And unfortunately, he took his life.
Do we have an update on the deputy that is in the hospital right now?
The deputy's in stable condition. He's well, and he will recover.
Just a while ago, you mentioned that the 2 people that were shot at the business, it wasn't good. What do you mean by that? Are they okay?
Well, it's not good when you get shot, you know. But their condition is serious. So serious is not good. You know, stable is better. Serious is not good. So we're hoping that these people pull through.
Tell us.
Those were two men. Those were the 2 men who found the woman who was killed, right?
I believe those were the 2. Yes, I'm not sure.
Was that woman killed today or was she killed earlier than today?
We don't know. It's too early. The investigation's still ongoing. I just don't know that.
Was he leaving behind that business or in somewhere around the area or like a mobile home or anything?
For what I understand, he was a resident at that business. How long he had been there and the exact location of it, I know he was living in the back. I don't know how long he's been living there.
Any word yet on whether he worked there?
No word whether he worked there. Not to my knowledge.
And I'm sorry, we just got here. Can you tell us, was he found by officers or was he found by dogs?
That's correct. He was found by our special response team consisting of several law enforcement agencies and canines. I wasn't sure if it was the TDC JID dogs or other law enforcement dogs that actually found him. But when the dogs did lead them to the boat, they made verbal communication with him. And then shortly after making verbal communication, that's when he decided to kill himself.
And did he say anything to officers? Was there a shootout?
I'm not sure of the conversation that went through them.
About how far was that boat from where his car was?
I'd say a couple miles. Well, from the car and the boat, not far. I wouldn't say the same yard. If you have a chance to look back there, these are a couple of acre slots that people live on. So, it's not short at all. Yes. Anybody else?
And how long ago was he served with eviction papers?
How long was he served eviction papers? From what I understand, that was yesterday or 48 hours ago.
Thank you, sir.
Your name again?
My name is Eric, E-R-I-K, Burse, B-U-R-S-E, Sergeant, Texas Department of Public Safety.
More details on his criminal history?
No, we're not going into the criminal history. All right, again, thank you all for everything that you do. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right, you've been listening there to Sergeant Eric Burse with DPS giving us an update once again on what has happened out there in Liberty County, confirming that the suspect they've been looking for here for the last, 6 to 7 hours or so, Pavel Vito, is in fact dead. Self-inflicted gunshot wound as searchers closed in on him not far from where the shooting took place early this morning. We did get a few more details out of that press conference right there, so we'll just recap it really quick. We told you earlier that search dogs were closing in on him. They had picked up a scent in an area that had been cleared by officers earlier. So the assumption from the sergeant was that the suspect was on the run and moving around. They did spot his car, and that boat where he was hiding under was not far away from the car, not right there, but not very far away either. He said there are 2-acre plots out there, so it may have been next door or a few plots down. But anyway, the search dogs picked up the scent on the suspect, tracked him to the boat, and when officers closed in and did communicate with the suspect, trying to get him to come out, that's when they heard one gunshot, and they moved in and found him deceased. The sergeant said we weren't going to quit, we weren't going away. They were moving in a grid pattern in that area. They had found the car seen leaving the scene, and so they knew he probably couldn't have gotten very far from that point, on foot anyway. This happened on Highway 321 in the Cleveland-Tarkington area. It started about 7:30 this morning with the shooting at Be Dependable Plumbing. Then a deputy confronting the suspect as he was leaving not far away in a parking lot down the road. Shootout ensues there. The deputy is hit in the neck, and the suspect gets away, and that's when the search began, ending just a little while ago. What else do I want to tell you here? Okay, the 2 injured. Now, we mentioned the woman at Be Dependable Plumbing was shot and killed. She was an employee there. 2 men who came in were shot as well. We're told they are in serious condition, according to the sergeant. He did not give any other details about them. He says, we hope they pull through, but he did not say anything else. They did say that a press release would be forthcoming with names and conditions of the injured. We do know the deputy, Richard Witten, has been on the Liberty County force up there for about 4 years or so. He went to Memorial Hermann in the Med Center. He was shot in the neck, but he will recover. So he is with his family. He was taken by helicopter to the Med Center this morning, and we're told that he will survive and will be okay. So that is very good news, just being reaffirmed by the sergeant with this latest press conference. So that is the latest here. We're still waiting more information. We were told by the sergeant that it could take a day or more to process all of these crime scenes. The initial shooting scene down the road on 321 where the deputy was shot, and then now not far away off of County Road 2247, where in this rural area where the suspect, Pavel Vito, has shot and killed himself. So 3 different scenes now for investigators to work. A lot for them to still do today, and I'm sure into the night and maybe into tomorrow as well, as they try to wrap up this investigation. So we will leave you for now, and we will come back on all of our digital platforms with any new information as we get it. I'm Russ Lewis in the KHOU newsroom. We'll see you soon.